Have you ever stepped outside, only to discover that every dog in the neighborhood seems unusually interested in you? Maybe a dog you've never met before trots right up with a wagging tail, or a shy pup suddenly becomes bold enough to sniff your clothes. Some people jokingly call themselves dog magnets, as if they possess an invisible aura that dogs can sense from far away. But this phenomenon isn't random, and it certainly isn't magic. In reality, dogs pick up on countless small cues, scents, sounds, emotions, colors, and even subtle habits that help them decide who they want to approach. Most of these signals are things humans don't even realize they're giving off, yet dogs detect them instantly. In this video, we're exploring 9 surprising reasons why dogs may be naturally drawn to you, even if you've never interacted with them before. By the end, you might understand that your dog magnetism is rooted in signals you've been sending all along. Let's get started. 1. You smell like food, even if you think you don't. One of the most common reasons a dog approaches a stranger is incredibly simple. They smell something delicious. You may not realize it, but dogs can detect scents at concentrations far too faint for human noses. Even if you haven't deliberately carried snacks, your clothing or breath may hold small traces of food from earlier in the day. Imagine you had breakfast just an hour ago. Even after brushing your teeth, tiny odor molecules linger on your breath and clothing. If your jacket brushed against crumbs, or your hands touched food packaging, dogs will notice instantly. Even food that's been sitting at the bottom of your bag, like an old granola bar wrapper, can send a signal that's irresistible to a dog. To a human, these tiny scents mean nothing, but to a dog, they're clear enough to spark curiosity, excitement, and a direct approach. When you see a dog sniffing your pockets or circling you with interest, there's a good chance they're simply following the faint trail of something tasty. 2. Your scented products are naturally appealing to dogs. While food is the strongest attractor, it isn't the only one. Dogs genuinely appreciate pleasant non-food smells, and many products humans use daily contain scents that dogs find surprisingly appealing. This includes shampoos, lotions, soaps, laundry detergents, and perfumes. Researchers have discovered that dogs enjoy scents like lavender, rose, mint, and even berries, especially blueberries and blackberries. These fragrances appear in countless personal care products. So if you regularly use a floral body wash, or if your shampoo has a fruity or herbal scent, dogs may be drawn to you simply because they find your scent pleasant or comforting. For dogs, smell is a major part of communication and social interaction. A scent that is strong enough to be noticed, but not overwhelming, might signal friendliness, cleanliness, or even calmness. So when unfamiliar dogs approach and seem to linger around you with contentment, your choice of grooming products may be playing a much larger role than you ever imagined. 3. Dogs notice how you treat their humans. Dogs are far more socially intelligent than many people give them credit for. They're constantly watching how their humans interact with the world, including how you interact with their owners. Even brief, polite exchanges, like greeting a neighbor, smiling warmly, or holding a door open, can create positive associations that dogs remember. If you live in an area where you often see the same people during walks, local dogs may already recognize you as someone their human likes or trusts. Over time, this recognition can build into a sense of familiarity. Even if you've never directly interacted with a dog, it may approach you because it has observed its owner reacting positively when you're nearby. Dogs naturally extend their trust to people who treat their owners well. They see you as part of their extended social circle, whether you realize it or not. So if a dog you barely know runs towards you with excitement, it may be their way of saying, "My human approves of you, so I do too." 4. You remind them of someone they loved. Sometimes a dog's sudden affection has absolutely nothing to do with who you are today, but rather who you remind them of. Dogs form deep emotional bonds with people from their past, whether that's a kind owner, a beloved family member, or a friendly neighbor they once adored. Dogs rely heavily on memory, but not just visual memory. They remember scents, voices, energy, posture, and even the way someone walks. If you resemble a person from their positive past, even in subtle ways, it can trigger a flood of warm memories for them. For example, your hairstyle, your cologne, your tone of voice, or even the rhythm of your footsteps may remind a dog of someone they once trusted. When this happens, they might greet you with instant enthusiasm, as if reconnecting with a long-lost friend. Even though you're a complete stranger, the dog experiences a sense of emotional familiarity that encourages them to approach you without hesitation. 5. Your emotional state is comforting to them. Dogs don't just observe human emotions, they can literally smell them. When we feel fear, stress, excitement, or happiness, our bodies release hormones and chemicals that produce subtle scents. Humans can't detect these changes, but for dogs, they're as noticeable as perfume. If you're relaxed, content, or in a good mood, your body releases chemicals that signal safety and calmness. Dogs naturally gravitate toward people who emit these peaceful cues. On the other hand, strong signals of fear or anxiety can make dogs feel uncertain or alert. In some cases, a nervous dog may behave anxiously, simply because it senses that the human nearby is also tense. People who project an emotionally stable, calm presence often unknowingly attract dogs. Their scent tells dogs, "This person is safe," encouraging dogs to approach with confidence. If you've ever noticed that dogs seem to settle down or act more peaceful when you're around, your emotional scent may be quietly influencing their behavior. 6. Your clothing colors stand out to them. Contrary to popular belief, dogs don't see the world in black and white. Their vision is limited compared to humans, but they can still distinguish certain colors, especially shades of blue and yellow. These colors appear more vivid and clear in a dog's eyes than reds or greens, which often blend into the background. If your clothing or accessories include bright blues or yellows, you may catch a dog's attention more easily than someone wearing muted colors. Dogs are also more attracted to high contrast patterns, shapes, and movements. Clothing that stands out visually, such as a patterned jacket or distinct accessories, makes you more noticeable and interesting from a distance. You might not think your outfit matters, but to a dog observing you from across the street, your clothing may be the most visually recognizable feature. When a dog turns its head or trots towards you with curiosity, it may be responding to how clearly you stand out in its limited color range. 7. Your voice is naturally appealing to dogs. Dogs respond instinctively to tone and pitch. While they always prioritize the voice of their own human, they still form impressions of unfamiliar voices. High-pitched or cheerful tones tend to make dogs feel more comfortable, whereas deeper or harsher tones can signal authority or tension. People with naturally lighter or more melodic voices may attract dogs without trying. Even the way you speak to another person, laughing, talking softly, or using a gentle tone, can draw a dog toward you. Dogs don't need you to speak directly to them to evaluate your vocal presence. They pick up cues simply by listening. If dogs often approach you during conversations or seem eager to hear your voice, it could be because your speech patterns are comforting and friendly. To dogs, sound is an important part of how they judge a person's intentions, and your natural voice might be giving off signals that feel warm and inviting. 8. You're sweaty, and dogs love that. This reason might feel less glamorous, but it's undeniably true. Dogs are fascinated by human sweat. When we exercise or spend time in the heat, our bodies release sweat from apocrine glands, especially in the armpits and groin. These glands produce a strong, distinct scent that dogs find extremely interesting. To us, sweat may be something to hide with deodorant, but to dogs, it's a complex bouquet of information. Sweat carries chemical signals that reveal your stress level, your activity, and even details about your health. And yes, dogs sometimes enjoy licking salty sweat off a person because it tastes good to them. If you've ever been approached enthusiastically by a dog right after exercising, it's likely because your scent is more intense than usual. From a dog's perspective, your sweat tells a story full of details, making you especially intriguing. 9. Your hormones make you more noticeable. This final reason affects some people more than others, especially women. Hormonal changes during menstruation or ovulation create subtle shifts in body scent that dogs can detect instantly. These changes aren't related to the smell of blood itself, but rather the chemical adjustments in pheromones. Dogs often become more curious or attentive around people experiencing these hormonal fluctuations. They might sniff more, linger longer, or seem unusually interested. This behavior is driven by biology, not attraction, and it reflects their sensitivity to changes most humans are unaware of. Dogs interpret hormonal scents as part of their natural understanding of social and reproductive cues. So if dogs occasionally seem extra attentive during certain times of the month, their heightened interest has a straightforward biological explanation. So, if random dogs always seem to approach you, it's not your imagination, and it's certainly not random. Dogs are incredible observers of scent, sound, emotion, and movement. Whether you smell like something delicious, radiate calmness, resemble someone they loved, or simply stand out visually, dogs are detecting many small signals that make you stand out in a crowd. You might be a dog magnet because of your scent, your behavior, your energy, or even your daily grooming routine. And while humans might never notice these subtle cues, dogs pick them up instantly. If you enjoyed learning why unfamiliar dogs may be so drawn to you, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and explore our other videos for more insights into dog behavior and communication. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.